If you're a Californian thinking about moving to Austin, then I want to be honest about what 600,000 can actually get you in 2026 because it's way more than most people expect. Hi, I'm Brandon Holley with Holley Homes Realty right here in South Austin. And if you're in California selling a home with real equity, bringing it here to Central Texas, trying to figure out what it can actually get you, this is the video for you. Today, we're gonna walk through numbers, taxes, and try to figure out what your move is gonna look like on the other side. In this video, I'm going to show you three things. First, what 600,000 actually gets you in South Austin right now, square footage, home type, and neighborhood. Second, the real tax math, California versus Texas, and why the answer most people give you is incomplete. Third, the lifestyle trade-off nobody from California talks about honestly, and I'll tell you the honest answer most agents won't, which is that the property tax thing you've been warned about isn't actually what you think it is. Here's where we are in 2026. Last year, roughly 77,000 Californians moved to Texas. That was the top state-to-state migration flow in the entire country. And inside Texas, the Austin Metro was the third most common destination, with Travis County specifically being the #1 landing spot for people leaving LA County. While all of that was happening, the Austin market did something interesting. It corrected. The median home price in the city of Austin is now sitting around $530,000 to $550,000. And in 78748, which is one of the core South Austin zips, the median is closer to $425,000 to $456,000. That matters because if you're bringing a $600,000 budget to South Austin, you're not a median buyer here. You're an above average buyer. That is the exact opposite of the position most of you are in right now in California. If you're seriously thinking about making a move to Texas, hit like and subscribe because every single week I break down the math like this, new communities for you to check out, and just kind of what's going on in the Austin area. Let's start with what that money buys you. In 78748, right now, the price per square foot is running around $257. So a $600,000 budget at that per square foot pricing puts you in a range of about 2,300 to 2,500 square foot home. That's typically a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, full yard, often with a covered patio. In a newer South Austin suburb like parts of 78744 or nearby Kyle and Buda, you can stretch 600,000 a lot further because per square foot pricing is lower. You might be looking at a 2,700 to 2,900 square foot with new finishes and upgrades. Now let's set the comparison. California's statewide median home price in 2026 is running between $780,000 and $905,000 depending on which data source you use. For context, 82% of California households cannot afford that median home. In LA or the Bay Area, $600,000 often buys you a small condo or far outlying fixer-upper. In South Austin, that same $600,000 budget gets you a full-sized home with a yard. Here's where most people get the tax math wrong. California has low property tax rates, around 0.75 effective. Texas has high property tax rates, 1.6 to 1.7 and 2.7 to 2.9 depending on what type of MUD or PID districts you might buy in. So on a $600,000 home, the California property tax is roughly $4,500, whereas Texas is closer to $10,000 to $16,000 a year depending on the district. That's the part everyone warns you about. Here's what gets left out every single time. California has state income tax, Texas has zero. On a household earning $250,000 a year, California state income tax alone is roughly $18,000 to $20,000. Texas takes zero of that. Added up, the average Californian relocator earning $250,000 nets roughly $8,000 to $12,000 more per year in Texas, even after paying the higher property taxes. If you're a higher earner, that gap widens fast. If you earn under $150,000 and don't have California equity to bring, the math tightens, and sometimes Texas isn't obviously cheaper. Drop a comment with where you're moving from in California, Orange County, Bay Area, LA. I read every single one, and I'll tell you the 2 or 3 South Austin neighborhoods that usually fit best. Now let's talk about what you're actually trading. What you gain? Space. A yard your kids can run in, a 20-minute commute instead of a 90-minute commute, no state income tax, a house big enough to host holidays, a neighborhood where you actually know your neighbors. Cost of living is roughly 30 to 35% lower. You have access to groceries, lower utilities, and lower services. All right, so what do you give up? The ocean is now a flight away unless you count the Gulf. The Mediterranean climate is replaced by a real summer and a real occasionally brutal August. Certain food scenes, the Vietnamese food in Orange County, the Mission burritos in the Bay Area, just are not here in the same form. And if you love being within a 2-hour drive to the mountains, snow, and the coast all on the same day, that specific combination is gone. The honest take, a lot of Californians who make this move miss the climate and the coastline. Most of them do not miss the price tag. So how do you decide? If you're a Californian earning over $200,000 with real California equity to bring, then $600,000 in South Austin is a quantum lifestyle upgrade. You're moving from being a below median buyer to being an above median buyer, and the math almost certainly favors the move. If you're counting on Austin to be cheaper on monthly carrying costs alone, without the California income tax savings and without bringing equity, consider running your numbers carefully first. The property tax piece can surprise you, especially in newer suburban communities. The one thing to watch out for is assuming all of South Austin is the same. 78748, 4445, and 49 each have very different personalities and price bands, and the difference between an established tree-lined neighborhood and a brand new MUD community can be 1 to 1.5% in your annual tax bill. That's real money over 10 years. Now you might be thinking, I've heard about Texas property taxes. Isn't that going to eat up everything I've saved? Here's the honest answer. On a $600,000 home in 78748, you're looking at roughly $10,000 a year in property taxes. That is real, and it's higher than what you're used to. But if you're a California household earning $250,000, your state income tax right now is roughly $20,000 a year. So even paying the higher Texas property tax, most California relocators in that income range net out ahead by $8,000 to $12,000 every single year. The biggest thing to watch out for is the MUD and the PID districts in brand new suburban builds, which can push your effective tax rate to 2.7% or higher. If no one has explained that to you before you tour a new construction community, someone is skipping a conversation you deserve to have. This video is actually helping. Please consider giving it a like so it can share it with more people actually thinking about making a move. I know this might not be the right time for you yet, and that's completely fine. If you're still in the early stages or just trying to make sense of everything, I'm always here as a resource. No pressure, no pitch, just real answers. And if you want to go a little deeper, I put together a relocation guide that breaks down Austin, Buda, Kyle, and Bastrop, plus things like tax rates, MUDs, and how to actually compare these communities. I'll link that below so you can take a look. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Brandon Holley with Holley Homes Realty, and I hope to see you in the next one.